Your live interactive Weather Authority coverage will begin shortly. Your live interactive Weather Authority coverage will begin shortly. Your live Weather Authority coverage starts right now.
Hello, everybody. I hope you guys are all having a great day and you enjoyed today's milder weather across the state. We had temperatures today top out in the 30s throughout much of the region. And yeah, a little bit above the average. We had mainly cloudy skies, however, and those cloudy skies are going to continue as we head into the daytime tomorrow. And eventually some snow is going to start falling from those clouds. If you have plans to step outside tomorrow evening, Monday morning, if you're traveling, not the best of time frames to travel. We are going to see some snow throughout the region. But let me first preface this by saying this is not a big storm. This is not a major storm. Let me say that. But it will cause some impacts, especially into the Monday morning commute, where I think most of the snow will end around 6 to 10 o'clock in the morning as we head into the day on Monday. Let's get a look outside in Portland right now. And we are looking at cloudy skies, temperature of 34 degrees. No issues out there this evening. No issues out there tomorrow morning, even into the early afternoon hours. Once we get into about the 3 to 5 p.m. time frame in the southern part of the state, that's when we're going to start to see some mix develop. Now, this is primarily a snow event for much of the area. However, we are going to probably start out as a little bit of a wintry mix, especially down towards the coastline. So you might see raindrops for during the afternoon for the daytime tomorrow before eventually it does transition over to snow as the atmosphere cools just a little bit. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. All right, so let's get into the forecast here. And you can see we are looking at temperatures right now running in the low to mid 30s and 33 degrees in Lewiston, Freiburg, Augusta, 32 degrees in Rockland. So temperature's not too bad. And these clouds out there right now are really going to help blanket the atmosphere, so to speak. So I don't think these numbers are going to go down too much as we head through the next couple days. Now, the satellite and radar is dry across the state. And yeah, there might be a couple flurries out there in parts of York and Cumberland counties. But other than that, we are looking good. And a couple places did see a couple rain or snow showers throughout the daytime today, but primarily it was a dry day with just mostly cloudy skies, and really most of the day was just completely overcast. Now, we have a storm system that is well down to our south right now, and we do have we have right now this area of low pressure over towards areas like Kentucky has a warm front, or oops, wrong one. That's the cold front right there. And then we also have the trailing warm front up towards the north of this storm. And we are looking at, again, this system moving in as we head into the nighttime tomorrow, but in particular tomorrow night and into early on Monday. So let's get a look at the forecast for the nighttime tonight. Mainly cloudy skies out there, and we are going to stay mainly dry. Again, maybe a rain or snow shower in some spots. Otherwise, we are going to stay clear of any weather impacts for this evening or tonight. Temperatures, not too bad. We should be about 32 degrees for the average high temperature this time of the year. And we are looking at, temperatures around 30 degrees for the nighttime tonight. Some upper 20s expected by the morning hours. Pick the town closest to you. And we are looking at 26 degrees for tonight in Freiburg, 26 in Sanford, 28 degrees in Portland, down towards York. Temperature right around 31 degrees for the nighttime tonight. So again, no issues out there, but then as we head into tomorrow, things will change. So let's talk more about it. We have cloudy skies during the morning. If you have to head out to go to the grocery store, or not that this is going to be a major storm, that's not what I'm implying, but if you just have to run some errands for the daytime tomorrow, not too bad. During the morning hours, we're good. We're dry up through probably 2, 3 o'clock in the morning or into the afternoon at least. During that time frame, it's not until about 2 to 5, 3 to 6 p.m. that we'll see some rain and snow showers start to develop. And you can see the temperature in the mid 30s during this time, which is why we probably will see a little bit of rain mixed in there. So let's talk about this in more details. We have mainly cloudy skies out there tonight and then overcast skies expected tomorrow. Here's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We are looking at rain and snow starting to develop, and areas down towards, Portsmouth over towards Kittery, and I'll really just highlight it. You can see in this area, you're probably going to start out as primarily some rain, but then that will transition over to some snow. Watch as we head through with this system, how the snow line just crashes to the south. As we advance this a little bit more, you can already start to see that happening by 6 or 7 o'clock. It's probably snowing in Portland by this time. It's probably snowing in the Portsmouth area. Rockland, you might still be looking at some light rain showers at this point, as the system hasn't really moved into your area and that hasn't allowed for the atmosphere to cool. So we are going to probably see rain showers up through the mid coast until maybe 6, 7, 8 o'clock. But this is, again, primarily a snow event. Once we head through the nighttime, now it's snowing everywhere. We're looking at snow throughout the region, 8, 9, 10 o'clock and on into Monday morning. And we do have some darker blues in here. And you can see some of those areas that probably will see the heavier totals. And I'm going to highlight a snowfall map coming up in my next graphic, probably about a minute or two from now, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But you see those darker blues right there? That's indicating, the potential for some moderate snowfall through the nighttime on Sunday. Thankfully, the winds won't be too strong. It is going to be a gusty wind at times. I think the wind goes from northeast to north as we head through the nighttime and into tomorrow or into Monday morning, and we might gust 30 to 35 in some spots down towards the coast. But we're not expecting much in the way of power outages. I'm sure there's going to be some, of course, because this is going to be a wetter and heavier snow, meaning it's going to be a very pasty snow, especially down towards the coast. And you can see that with these temperatures. I mean, we have temperatures right around the freezing mark. And when you have temperatures in the lower 30s, typically that means, it's going to be a pasty snow that is not going to just easily brush off your car. It's going to be a little bit denser as we head through this system. And some of these systems that we've had so far this year have pretty much been very light, fluffy snow, like that big one that we had that hit especially the southern part of the state with over a foot of snow. That was a very light and fluffy snow. So let's talk about the accumulation totals and what we're thinking here. So we're looking at about a coating to 2 inches as you head up towards the north. This is for most, at least central and northern Oxford counties. Areas like Skowhegan, you're probably around a coating to 2 inches. Rangeley, Jackman, Greenville, it might not, we're not expecting much. As you head up towards, especially the Greenville area and points north, you might not really see any accumulation whatsoever. You're just too far away from this system to see much in the way of anything. Most areas see about 2 to 5 inches of snow. And that includes Freiburg, that includes Augusta and Auburn, Lewiston, Wiscasset, areas like Rockland, and even down towards the Portland area, Portsmouth as well. I did not include you guys in the 4 to 7. And the reason I did that is because down towards the coastline, especially to start, we are going to see rain to fall. To start with this system, I think the areas that I highlighted in 4 to 7 inches, you're pretty much going to stay snow the entire event. And probably areas like most of York County away from the coastline, including Sanford and places like that up towards Sebago Lake, we are going to see around 4 to 7 inches. I think that's where we'll see the most in the way of snowfall with this system tomorrow evening through Monday morning. And, it's just one of those things. It's going to be a little bit pastier at the coast, which makes it a little bit harder to accumulate. So it's going to be one of those things where it's like you might get the same amount of precipitation to fall, but just because of the snow ratio being a little bit lower down towards the coast, I'm going 2 to 5. I think the best chance for anywhere in Maine in particular is for like the 6 or 7 inch amounts is right in the smack dab in the middle of that 4 to 7, which is why I had the 4 to 7 inch range right there. And then once you get down towards parts of New Hampshire, there's definitely going to be lots of 6 and 7 inch ranges down there. If not even higher than that in some parts of New Hampshire, where some areas could see upwards of maybe even 8 inches of snow. Again, not a big system, but it is going to cause some problems for Monday morning. I think we are going to see issues out there for Monday morning. I'm sure there'll be plenty of delays across the area. Cancellations, I guess it just depends on where you are and when the snow ends, but I think most of the snow is going to end between about 6 a.m. and 10 a.m. as we head into the Monday morning time frame. So most of this snow is out of here during the morning hours, but it is still going to be around during the morning commute. So it's going to be slippery out there. I would say that's by far the most impacted commute because, I mean, one, do you guys even consider Sunday evening a commute? I don't know. I guess that's up to you guys, but I don't know. I mean, Sunday evening, yeah, it's going to start raining and snowing a little bit during the evening, but of course it's a Sunday, which is good. But yeah, Monday morning is the time frame that we have to pay attention to a little bit more. By the afternoon hours, the sunshine will come out just a little bit. I think we're still looking at a good amount of clouds during the day on Monday, but overall, we are going to stay dry for the afternoon. After about 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning, snow ends, and we are going to see drier conditions prevail as we head into the afternoon. Let me get to some of your guys' comments. Why don't we do this? Travel conditions late in the morning. Is this, I'm not sure if this is, right here. She says Monday. Okay. So late in the day on Monday, in the morning hours, late morning, I think you're okay. I would assume that all the crews will be out during the morning hours, clearing up the roads. I'm sure the side roads might be a little bit slipperier, but highways will probably be fine. 10, 11 o'clock, I think most of the travel conditions will really start to improve, only because the snow is going to become lighter during the morning. 6 to 10 it ends, and then by the early afternoon hours, we're pretty much good. Roads are all wet and salty like they have been for the last however many weeks. But yeah, I would say during the late morning, early afternoon, we're pretty much fine. It's during the morning that it could be a little slick. Cindy, can we get a break? Please, can we get a break from these storms? I will say that the next couple days, once we get to Tuesday, while it's going to be cold Tuesday, I would say most of this week isn't too bad. But I do want to mention that there is some possibilities, so to speak. Still, it's only Saturday, so let's not get into too much detail for next Friday and into the weekend. But there's some hints that it could get unsettled. I'm not so much calling for a storm as it is maybe just like cloudy, rainy, a little bit of snow here or there. We have an upper level low that might get cut off in our area. And with that, we could be looking at just a kind of a gross pattern for a couple days, maybe a week. But again, that's really not where our concern is right now, because that is probably another 7 or 8 days away from now. Klein, hello to you. Carabasset Valley, you guys not going to look at too much. Ratios are a little higher in the mountains, Sugarloaf, but you're just not going to see much. You're just too far north. This system is for the southern part of the state. You might see a coating to 1 inch or 2 of snow. It'll be a little fluffier up there, so you're lucky if you get 3, but I would say a coating to 2 up towards some of the higher mountains across the north, that is. All right. Now, hello to you, Bert. I hope you are doing great in Bangor. Any ice concerns around 6 p.m., Jonathan, for the roads? The 6 p.m. time frame on Sunday is okay at best. I think it's going to be one of those things where it starts as rain and a little bit of rain, at least a mix of rain and snow in the southern part of the state during the late afternoon, early evening. By 6 p.m., I don't think we're looking at much in the way of accumulation because it starts out on the lighter side. Once you get past 6 p.m., 7, 8, 9 o'clock, that's when the snow will start coming down at a better clip. Also going to be a situation where a lot of the beginning parts of this system, it just melts on contact because the roads are going to be in the mid 30s with temperatures in the mid 30s. We've had systems again that have been in the lower 20s with snow, and that's when you have the bigger issues, but not so much here for this system. I think we'll see some milder, more moderate temperatures at least. All right. Dixfield, Farmington. Not much again. I mean, again, most areas as you head up towards further in the north, you're probably looking at 2, maybe 3 inches of snow there. Most areas not looking at too much. Same with Gavin and Skowhegan. It's just you guys are just too far up to the north. What time is it going to start on Sunday, according to Andrea? I will say if you're in the southern part of the state, probably between about 2 to 5 p.m., Once you get up towards Augusta, areas like Waterville, probably more like 5, 6, 7 p.m., 5 or 6 at least. So during the late afternoon, early evening, that's probably the easiest way for me to put it. What else do we got? All right. How much snow for OOB? You guys are if I had to put a number, and please don't hold me to this, please, but like OOB Portland area, plus or minus 1 inch from this. So I would say around 4 inches. I think we're plus or minus an inch, so maybe 3 to 5 in that range for the Portland area. OOB, Biddeford, Kittery, Portsmouth, give or take around 3 to 5 inches of snow. But I think we're I wasn't comfortable putting the coastline into the 4 to 7 inch range, especially because a lot of people like to look at the higher number, and the chances of 7 inches of snow in Portland is very slim tomorrow evening into Monday morning. So yeah, I would go about 3 to 5 inches for much of the coastline, Biddeford, places like Portland, especially like down towards the coast, like Cape Elizabeth area, probably about 3 to 5 inches of snow. Again, not a big deal. Gorham, somebody was mentioning about Gorham, trying to get an extra day for this lab report. I would say do it because you never know. But I would assume that you guys, if I had to put a number on it, again, 4 or 5 inches of snow. I think you're hovering around that 4 to 7 inch mark, but I would call it 4 or 5 inches of snow in the Gorham area. That's where I would be comfortable with saying. And Allie from Sanford, you guys could actually be in like the quote unquote jackpot with this system. And I say jackpot very loosely because, again, this is not a major storm. This is, 3 to 6, 4 to 7 in some spots. But I think if any towns in the state of Maine are going to get the 6 or 7 inch amounts, I would say it's around Sanford and points just north of that. I guess I can circle it out. But like in this area, if anybody's going to get a 6 or a 7 or 8, I don't want to say 8. If anyone's going to get like the 6 or 7 inch numbers, it's going to be in this area. I think it's not a very wide range of people that will get as much as 6 or 7, but that's pretty much where I'm thinking at this point. Travis, hello to you. I hope you are doing great from Wilmington. What time? Lindsay, what time will it snow until on Monday? 6 to 10 a.m. is the numbers I'm going with. I would say if you're in Portsmouth, if you're in York County, let's just say that. If you're in York County, probably 6 to 8, maybe 7 to 9 a.m. If you're in Augusta, Lewiston, points north of that, it's probably 9, maybe even 10 o'clock in the morning. So 6 to 10 a.m. is the time frame I'm going with for that area, or just the entire state, excuse me. What time will be the worst travel? Well, I mean, the worst travel is technically like 10 p.m. to 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, but I mean, who travels around that time? At least most people don't. So I'm highlighting the Monday morning commute, even though the snow is not going to be all that heavy coming down. We're still looking at a light snow during the Monday morning commute. But the worst travel time period with this storm is overnight. So that's the good news to the forecast is most of this is going to fall overnight, which will give crews enough time to hopefully clean out the roads and stuff like that. So worst time frame to travel would be 10 p.m. to 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. But then after that, it kind of lightens up a little bit. We are going to see a lighter snow during the morning commute. It's just one of those things where it's like you might have 3, 4, 5, even 6 inches of snow on the ground. So it could be slippery for sure. What else do we have? What time will it start snowing in Lewiston? Tomorrow, I would say you guys start as snow. I would also say there's the chance that you might see a tiny bit of mix to start. And I would go 4 or 5 p.m. 4 to 5 p.m. in the Lewiston area, give or take. You got to give me about a 30-minute plus or minus there. But I would say around 4 or 5 p.m. would be a good time frame for that. And this is a good question because I love these questions. What ratio are we looking at? So Buddy is talking about the snowfall ratios. And So I can go into this a little bit. We have snowfall ratios when we've had systems. I'm going to take that storm where you guys probably remember we got like 12 to 18 inches of snow in the southern part of the state a couple weeks ago, whatever it was. We had very high snowfall ratios where essentially what that means is how much precipitation, how much melted snow, how much precipitation falls for every inch of snow, so to speak. So if you have a foot of snow that melts down to say 1 inch, you have a 12-to-1 ratio because 12 inches of snow for 1 inch of rain. And the higher it gets, the fluffier the snow is. So if you have 20 inches of snow for every 1 inch of rain, then you're looking at a fluffier, powderier snow. If it's 7 or 8 inches of snow for every 1 inch of rain, then the ratios are lower. So the ratios with this storm are going to be around 9 to 10. So they're not going to be that high. We're going to, again, see a little bit of a wetter, denser snow with this system. And that's part of the reason why these numbers aren't higher, is because of the temperatures being in the low to mid 30s during most of this event. It's just going to cause these, snow ratios to be pretty low. I would say around 9 to 10 inches of snow for about 1 inch of rain. Thing is we're not going to see 1 inch of precipitation. We're probably looking at closer to about a half an inch of precipitation in the southern part of the state in particular. But you're talking, so, I mean, if you look at it this way, if you average out the snow ratios to 10 or 9.5 or something, and you take a half an inch of precipitation, you essentially divide those numbers by 2, and you're talking 3, 4, 5 inches of snow, which is what we're going with. So, ratio is about 9 to 10 inches, or ratio is about 9 to 10 to 1 about. Let me get into the 7-day forecast because I know a lot of you guys like that, or I guess we have to go through this first. I wanted to talk about this really quick, and you can see that we have a cold front that passes through. Look at those temperatures on Tuesday. It's going to be chilly out there, and I think we could see some of our coldest nights that we've seen so far this season. Temperatures are going to run below 0 in spots up north. You can see for areas inland, much of the same. Temperatures in the low 20s with a northwest breeze. It's not going to be too windy out there, but any little bit of a breeze will add a bite to the temperatures. Now, we are going to see some chilly nights as well, even down towards the coastline. I think we're talking temperatures in the single numbers for most of the area Monday night after this cold front passes through, and then also Tuesday night as well. We are dry Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And we're going to stay mostly sunny at times. Other times we'll see partly cloudy skies, but look at that temperature overnight on Tuesday night. Inland, we're talking below 0. So it's going to certainly be cold, but nothing we can't handle, of course. And then we're dry through Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We have to watch a chance for some rain or snow as a storm system could be around. We'll continue to track that over this upcoming week. Of course, right now our focus is on tomorrow evening through the morning on Monday. So just take it easy if you are stepping out there for tomorrow or Monday morning. We are looking at probably some slippery conditions, but then clearing skies, at least some, as we head into the afternoon. So temperature's not too bad, but it's going to be cold on Tuesday. All right, that's the latest look. If you guys want to tune in at 10 and 11 o'clock, I'll have the latest update. I hope you guys can have a great evening and enjoy some football tomorrow and just relax. That's what I wish I was doing. Have a good one.